it before. Couldn't look you in the eye. You're just like an angel. Skin makes me cry. You float like a feather in a beautiful world. I wish I was special. You're so fucking special. But I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't care if it hurts. I wanna have control. I want a perfect body, want a perfect soul. I want you to notice when I'm not around. You're so fucking special. I wish I was special.
Hey y'all, happy 420. Welcome to Unicorn Straight No Chaser, where you come for the shenanigans, but you stay for the debauchery. And we definitely have shenanigans and debauchery in store for y'all today. It is 420, so I hope that y'all got y'all bongs. I hope that y'all have been rolling up. Y'all got y'all edibles. You got y'all vapes, whatever. And I want y'all to hang tight and stick around because we got a lot of laughs in store for you. As usual, I have my co-host with me. They switched sides today. All right. Hey. Well, light skin
side.
I'm used to you being over
the right side, light skin side. Hey.
Well, go on and introduce yourself. You get to be the star today.
Hey, I feel special. What's going on, everybody? Happy 4F20. This is your Soft Dom Daddy here. Hopefully, y'all having a beautiful, sexy fucking day. A high day at that, too. I forgot my bong. I'm going to get my bong in a minute. I'm going to do a rip for y'all. Maybe die. We'll see.
Anyway. And Tokyo.
Hey, happy 420, y'all. Tokyo here. No. Tired. I'm tired. I don't smoke.
Eyes tired.
I don't smoke. Maybe one day in my life. But Tokyo T here to bring you inside Pandora's box full of kinks and chaos. So stay tuned for Inside the Box.
And of course, I am your queen of extra, your sultan of shenanigans, your diva of debauchery, and the official HBIC. All right, no tie. I am not high, unfortunately. I have had nothing at all. This is just, I'm tired. This is a lack of sleep and a whole lot of fucking working for HNIC. All right.
Sleepy glow.
Sleepy glow. let's take care of some housekeeping before we bring our guest on. As you know, I am the executive producer for Unicorn Straight No Chaser. All right. Along with my co-executive producer, the bald-headed demon. Clap it up and all that good stuff. Now, I also want to give thanks to our Lord and Savior, aka Just the Best StreamYard tech editor, kick you in the ass motivator, all that stuff.
Just the best.
And also, I want to let y'all know, y'all don't just have to wait for us on Thursdays. You can watch all the replays on all the HNIC platforms, and we are on Spotify and Anchor. So yes, we're an actual podcast. You can listen to the shenanigans while you are at work. Don't blame us if you get in trouble. That is not our concern. All right. So we have a special guest this evening. Okay. I am so happy that she agreed to be. I'm sorry. We have a special guest this evening. I am so happy that they agreed to be on. We are going to be delving into sex work, pup play, rope bondage. And they have graced us with their presence. I want y'all to give a big welcome to Fidget Da Pup.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Fidget.
Hi.
Yes, let them be on full display because they are going to be giving you the education today, and they are wearing something special to honor 420.
They are gorgeous. I can say that much. God damn.
Thank you.
And they listen. They are interested in partaking as soon as we get finished. So
yes,
we are going to delve into this. So Fidget, you go by Switchy Little Pup on your social medias, correct?
Yes.
Most of your platforms.
Yes, most of my platforms are Switchy Little Pup. You just gotta drop the T's and the E for Twitter, because Twitter don't let you put the long letters in there.
And Fidget is a erotic performer, a model. They do all types of things with educating people as far as mental health advocacy, autistic advocacy, and you have been diagnosed with ADHD and being on the spectrum as well. So they are very unique in the fact that they are existent in kink spaces and being representation for people that are neurodivergent. Yeah. So I really wanted to have Fidget on because it is Autism Awareness Month, Autism Acceptance Month, as I like to say. And so often, we do the typical things about autism, people lighting it up blue and going over the same dialogue over and over again. But we do not celebrate autistic people as sexual beings enough. And I really wanted to just... Who is drag racing?
Somebody out here trying to
trying it, okay? They are really trying. Everybody want to play their music and riding motorcycles outside the window. I can't take it. I don't make no sense.
Usually it's me, but it's not me today.
You like, I remember living in Philly, and it was just, it was a lot. Every time you rolled by the street, somebody's blasting something roll out. Being the autistic individual, I can't stand it. I get so noise overstimmed.
Well, Fidget, my daughter is autistic, so she goes through the same exact things all the time. She has to have her headphones, like she went on a trip yesterday, and she's the only one in the picture with her headphones on.
I really I used to wear big chunky headphones like these all the time. It got to the point where those would get on my nerves, they would press on my head, it would bother me. So then I ended up finding loops. Very great investment. They $40, but they go everything down to 18 decibels. So you can't, you only hear the person in front of you, or everything else is muffled enough that you can filter it out. And I'm just I love these.
Please send me that link.
I will. They got them on Amazon. They got
So,
lots
like,
of different colors. They come in quiet, which is like it drops, like you can't hear it, like it's just muffled all the way. And then there's Experience, which has like these silicone pieces that put in the middle of them. They're like little round loops, and that's what they're called. That's what they're called. But they're little round loops, and they got a little earbud piece, and it goes right, and it sits all pretty, like a little earring. It's cute.
Okay. All right. I'm excited. So, Fidget, you are an erotic performer.
Mm-hmm.
And how long have you been doing it?
Let's see. I started Tumblr, honestly.
Really?
Tumblr in 2016 is when I was like, yeah, we're just gonna post just nudes here. And then people were just like, hey, do you sell these? And I'm just kind of like, I guess I could.
Rest in peace, Tumblr.
Rest in peace.
We miss you. I miss Tumblr so much. So much good porn. There's so much good content.
Better than Twitter. It was so much better. It's a blog central. Like everybody had everything there. Like I think like Chubby Chasers. It was like not Chubby Chasers. It was Chubby Bunnies, and it was like the first Tumblr account that I saw where I just saw a whole bunch of plus sized women or people in general, and then I was just like, that has to be me over there. I'm gonna put that there. Here we are. But then I graduated to like OnlyFans in 2018, so that it was just, more content from there. Yeah, just because I joined the Kink community right after, and then I was just like, oh, there's a whole community of people like this. Okay, cool. I'm not the weird one.
Right.
No, I have seen like an explosion of, like African American people being involved in like the kink community and like burlesque performers and like very, very much leaning towards like body positivity. So it's not like the rail thin Instagram model. Like everyone is curvy and voluptuous. Yes. And I think like it's a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. So, you said you started OnlyFans. And like, what was your progression on OnlyFans from just selling your nudes?
It turned into then eventually selling videos because people just liked looking at me. And I was just kind of like, all right, cool. I guess I could make some extra cash, I could make some extra cash, whatnot. And then I kind of just turned it into like, oh, I actually like enjoy modeling though. Mm-hmm. And then that turned into where I guess we're just gonna post all of this, just all of this, because y'all like all the kink things, y'all like the modeling things, y'all like. I guess we just
take it all.
You could have all of this for $8 a month. You can have it all, $8 a month.
That's actually very reasonable. You ever think about raising your prices?
Oh, I'm definitely.
You better subscribe today, y'all. Y'all watching this. Subscribe today.
For this price go up. I'm tired of it.
Inflation's a bitch.
Right. OnlyFans takes too much money out too.
Top-notch quality nudes, deserve top-notch quality prices is what I'm saying.
Right. I feel like
you might want. I'm not your manager, but you might want to think about that.
Yes.
What I'm saying.
We gonna put these prices up real quick because, like, I feel like I like gravitated from doing selfies to like boudoir modeling more, and then like artistic, like kinky things, and then I was just like, you know what, we're gonna slowly escalate the price because y'all be playing with me. And I'm just like, I'm over here like doing all this extra labor. We're gonna put this price up.
So one of the things that is prominently on display on your social media is that you are very heavily into pet play.
Yes.
And so for those who don't know what pet play is, could you like describe it briefly and how you got into pet play?
I got into pet play in like 2019, not too long after being outwardly little and in the age play community. I had joined doing pet play because I was like, you know what? I don't see many femme presenting pups. Why is that a thing? Why is it always cats being femmes and then pups being masked? And then I was just kind of like, it doesn't even really fit in between the two of these anyway. I just am right in the middle, so why don't we just, doesn't matter, we're just gonna make it really cute and be me, right? So I ended up doing, I'm not describing this very well. Okay. But for me, pet play is just like another extension of being little. It's like it's a safe space that I enjoy getting taken care of in a different manner, and it's also a place that I can sexualize comfortably. Like I can't do that with age play at all, because that's just purely out of comfort. And then puppy play is more of a primal thing for me, so I can do more with it than I could do with age play. And it's you wear puppy gear, you get your hood or your ears, and you got a tail and harnesses and lots of other different, just example.
Okay.
But I mean, the hood's over there. I brought it out just in case I wanted to show examples. But
you want to show us your hood?
I could get it.
I would love to see it.
Hold on. Perfect.
Yeah, because it's like a lot of work that goes into making the hood. It looks like very intricate.
Okay, so
you guys are getting to see what Fidget wears when she's doing her. They're doing their pup play.
Okay, so yeah, this is a version of the hood that a lot of pups have. It's from Rough Stuff. They're like roughly like $180, depending on what you get. Mine is a poodle hood. Not many companies make poodles because poodles just are awesome. We should have more poodle hoods. And then I have my silicone tail that I wear with a harness, and it just wags on its own with a little bit of shift movement. I love this thing.
Is that a butt plug or is that
just flat?
Okay.
It's flat, and you just sit it inside of. It goes into like you can wear it in a
harness or something.
A harness of any sort, like a strap-on harness backwards, and it just wags on the bum. And then I have my chest harness that I wear.
Okay. It's pretty. It's past. So who makes the hoods and the rest of it?
The hood I got from Rough Stuff. It is WRUFFT. Lord, dyslexia, bruh. Another subsequent of being autistic. Anyway, Rough Stuff. Y'all can use context clues for Rough Stuff because I apparently can't spell today.
Okay. Well, you know what we can do? Yes, we can put it in the chat. And you know what? I really thought that everyone who did pet play, like, I don't know why, but I felt like they wore butt plugs. So
you can. There are some that have it. Like this company that made this is Square Peg Toys. They're the only company I could find that makes one that goes in a harness because I specifically did not want a very large butt plug hanging out. I'm so sorry. Like I can't play roughly as a pup like that. That's also part of pet play that I forget. Wrestling is a kink that people like that goes along with this. That doesn't really happen. But yeah, Square Peg Toys makes this and it's called a Happy Show Tail, and because it's up and happy and it's like real thin and like has short hair. But they have a long-haired version of it for like retriever looking. That's retriever looking, and I was just like, we're buying this so I can put a poof on the end and call it a day.
Okay. So French poodle action.
Yes, I am a poodle.
So with being a little and also with the pup play, it's about comfort for you.
Yeah, for me it's a comfort. It's like I'm gonna do the black people thing. Because we lack fathers out in this piece. Like we lack fathers out in this piece. I guess it's like another like replacement for having like a caretaker. Mm-hmm. Also being autistic makes it hard to take care of myself. So there's like things that I have a dom for that reason. Like my dom makes it easier for me to remember to take my medicine, make it easier for me to remember to do household chores. We have a chore chart and everything and get reward-based things and all that stuff. And like it's the same thing with pet play. You get rewarded for good behavior with whatever kink or fetish that you're interested in. Like it's power dynamics are great. I don't know how else to explain that. Power dynamics are great. You know what you're doing, they're great.
You do have a dom.
Yes.
But you're not collared?
Not currently. We're vetting at the current moment. Like we're in a new relationship, and I'm excited. It's like
That's good.
This is the first partner I've had. I'm 30 years old, and this is the first partner I've had that has done all the things correctly.
No.
I don't know, like we communicate well. We don't like get real. Like I noticed a lot with my previous partners, like narcissism runs in like easy to run into when you are neurodivergent. It's so easy to be gaslit into people, into relationships. So like I tended to like earlier on in my kink journey, it was like that. It was just like one after the other, and then I was just like, well, I guess this isn't good to work. And then I just sat down and just was like, we're just gonna take a long break of doing nothing. And ran into this one, and then they were just like, you know what, why have you been treated this badly? And I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. If everybody thinks of this great, and I'm just kind of like, but why? But yeah, we're vetting at the current moment, and it takes like, I don't want to rush being collared. I want it to come when I've earned it and when it feels reciprocated.
Yeah,
I like that.
It is like people don't understand that it's a big deal for you to be collared. And for those out there that don't understand, it's like a dom sub thing. You get a collar from your dom, and it's a commitment. It's kind of like getting a commitment ring or an engagement ring.
Yeah.
In the monogamous world, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same thing.
For me, it would be just a different sign of commitment, or a different escalation to our relationship. Hello, Bagel.
Now, where do you find good doms at is the question.
I have no clue. I'm not answering.
We out here. Let me tell you, we are out here.
Out there. It took me a long ass time to find it. I would say through a lot of, you gotta be aware of what you want and be very, very strong about what you want in order to find a good dom. If you are not strong with your own boundaries, you're just not gonna get anywhere but toxic and toxic and toxic. And I've learned that already. So like, I'm warning y'all out here watching, please be strong and stiff with your boundaries. Because like, just don't go into nothing saying, oh, I ain't got no limits. Don't do that. That's a trap. That's a trap. Don't do that. That's a trap.
Fidget, you are very smart. You have no idea.
Yeah, she got wisdom there.
You are very wise. Listen, being in a dom sub dynamic, that is not for the weak. Okay, I do not want to hog you. I know that Tokyo will have some questions as well. So
that's the way I answer the questions.
I don't have many. I'm not going to, drive me crazy. But I got a curious mind. So, what are your sensory needs during any type of play scene? Like, do you have any sensory needs that you have to do, like, while you're in a scene?
Okay, so this is a great time for this question because I just did this last night. So usually, because I am a sadomasochist, I tend to like pain and I like giving pain. I have to, in order to receive pain, I have to be in like the calmest, like relaxed mindset before I even approach it. If I approach it before I am calm, there is more than likely a meltdown will happen. So like, I can't approach that. So usually what I do is I play music that is like at a rhythm and pace, so that way I don't feel rushed through the scene. And I also am very, very verbal about what I need. So like, I'll tell my dom that I would rather you be like shuffle through toys rather than using the same thing repetitively in the same spot. Like, I need it spread out differently, so that, because I am very like, I'm very touch oriented. So like too much of the same thing over and over again will then either dull everything and then I won't feel it, or it'll be really, really too much. And like finding that balance is kind of hard. It took me and my first dom, I think like 3 to 4 sessions for me to even get to that chill and like, oh, okay, I can do this. Like, but my pain tolerance also gets crazy. Like if I'm like real low on dopamine, which ADHD, if I'm real low on dopamine, I'm usually really, really like pain oriented. So like I will sit there and take it and you won't barely get much noise out of me. Mm-hmm. And then there are times where I'm like too high on like too like unregulated, and then you won't be able to get me to sit through a scene at all. So it's like it's very hit or miss. But aftercare definitely is important because like I can't do a scene and not have aftercare. Because then I usually get like the whole rejection sensitivity. I'll start going down the whole mindset of like, wait, did I do something wrong? Why do I feel weird? Like the whole like dysregulation that happens after sub drop is like, is I need a lot of like extra care afterwards, like cuddling, usually watch a TV show and like eat afterwards, and or get a little freaky. either way, like I need a little bit of extra aftercare. And usually like I talk a lot. So like last night my dom and me were just like sitting down and we were talking about it because he was just like, you seem very talkative, do you want to stop? And I was just like, yes, we should talk. I was like, yes, we should talk. I want to tell you about this thing because I'm excited. He was like, you're just going. You want to talk? You want to sit down and talk? We can stop. We don't have to go back to it.
Well, I think that's a beautiful thing that he's like very understanding of what your needs are. Because even in not being autistic, like, you know, I relate to some of the things that you said. Like, I don't like the same tool used. I need something, you know, different. I need to alternate, and if I'm not in the right mind frame, like it's definitely going to be painful versus being pleasurable.
Yeah. And like the other thing that he was doing, like, so I like a lot of heavy tools. So like I'm a thud person over sting. I can
like
sit
deep pressure.
Yeah. I like, but I'm the person that'll do stingy built into it. And then you get up to like the heavier thud, and that's when I'm just like, I don't know how to just. This is a beautiful. Like I don't know how to explain. What is the word that I am thinking of? Euphoria. There we go. Yes, euphoria. I was trying to figure out where's the word for that word. But like, I'll get really euphoric once the thudding happens, and I'm just like, oh, I can just now relax into this, and it's great. It's like almost a massage after that point. Usually after all the sting, but like there was a point that I was trying to get to and I can't remember now. See, here we go. Poof, idea going. Never mind, continue.
Have you ever been involved in a scene that got to be like dangerous or experience with being in the erotic kink community, like, you know, dangerous people or certain places that you just would recommend that people do not venture into?
There was a little community that I was a part of that I just stopped all entirely because I realized there's like a lot of people that, especially when you're going into like a lot of like white kink spaces, I have noticed that like a lot of white folk will just sit here and turn a blind eye to like consent violators and people that do not care about what you want in the scene. And then I'm kind of like, okay, so I just don't need to be, we don't just, y'all. And that was also happening a lot with people when at this one Littlest event that I was going to. They weren't like being monitoring about people that sexualized the age play kink and others that didn't. And I was just like, yeah, this is uncomfortable for a lot of people that are coming. Like people that are coming that are here just to play and be kid-like are now being sexualized in a space that they want to just relax in. And they can't because now it's traumatizing to be sexualized when you're like, bro, I'm just trying to play with Legos, my guy. I just want to play with the Legos, my guy. I don't want to talk about your pee-pee. I don't know why we talk about your pee-pee.
there
They
are
gotta be
some
escorted
people-
out of there. That's some
Right,
bullshit.
and then like the community I was in, they just weren't doing anything. They like, that's handsome. They weren't doing anything. They were just kind of like, well, diaper lovers also want to be here as well. And I'm just like, well, there's a lot of people that don't like doing. You understand how are age? This is why I don't like the acronym being it together, because it's
Okay.
like age
I
play,
see now.
diaper lovers
Yeah.
are always together. No, we're not the same. We're totally different things.
So what would you say is the main difference between people that are diaper lovers and then those that engage in age play and those that are littles and like to have like a daddy or a mommy dom?
Okay, so little and age play is very similar. The only difference is a lot of littles don't necessarily sexualize it. Age players can sexualize the space, but they don't necessarily have to. It's more about the power play of, like, there's forced age regression, which is a thing, and like a lot of people like being like chained into a diaper or like they have like lockable mitts and foot pads. Same thing with the pet play stuff. They have like those for pups as well. But like it's like people have like the power exchange of being forced back into a small headspace, and that's age play. Diaper lovers are literally just there for the diaper. There's no little aspect to it. They just really like the aesthetic of being baby, and they like the diaper. They don't care about anything else. That's like the rest of it's not really interesting for them. And like, there were people that would go and they would just be in regular clothes, like at the age play, the event that I was going to, like a lot of us were in onesies and diapers and passies and everything else. And then like, you get the people that are just there for the diaper and they're just sitting there watching you. And
Just chilling in the Huggies, just
chilling in the Huggies, bro. And I'm just like, my guy, why you looking at me like that? You don't gotta look at me like that. I'm just, and then I realized, oh no, we walking porn for y'all. We gotta stop this. I was like, we gotta stop this. I don't want to be walking porn of a baby. Now, this on the other hand, you can sexualize this all you want.
You don't have a problem with that at all.
Yeah, I don't know. Not baby doesn't want that, but puppy is different. Puppy's fine. Puppy's like, I know I'm cute. And what?
Okay. That definitely sheds some light on it. Like, it's not like we haven't discussed it before,
yeah.
But it's always different when you read about things or go online versus someone who actually is in the life all the time and goes to the events and like is a part of what they do. Tokyo, it seemed like you had something you wanted to say. I'm sorry.
I don't see. Listen, you ain't the only one. I forget what I gotta say all the time. But I do have a question about you being a little and a pup.
Mm-hmm.
You said y'all are vetting. Mm-hmm. Is that the term you used?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Vetting is like when you're getting, it's another term for like getting to know someone and getting like setting negotiations and boundaries on things that you would want in your dynamic. I like, we're still like, we started dating 4 months ago, and I had to quickly get here. So then now I'm here and we're living together. So we're trying to like slowly add things to our dynamic and the way we live on the regular basis. So like, we're kind of like on the fence of the 24/7 dynamic. So it's not like, it's not a always thing, but it is like a majority of the time thing. And like, the collar's just like, it's just the ring on the finger, essentially. So that takes time. Like you can't rush negotiating something, because then you're gonna miss something. Like, we talk about like what we want in the future, what we want down the like 4 months from now, how we want our dungeon to look, what kind of toys and implements we want to use on a regular basis. We talk about a lot of different other things, and also how rules work as far as like me getting chores done and or doing play for scenes, like puppy training, for example. That's a totally different thing that I haven't even delved in yet. I'm waiting.
Partner is going to be your dom for pet play as well. You said you're polyamorous.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yes.
Would you? I guess when you are in these type of dynamics, you only have one dom, right? Like even if you was polyamorous, you can have more than one dom. So you have a dom for your little space, and you have a dom for your pet play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it really depends on it depends on what you negotiated with your dom. My dom is very, very much like, look, we love to shout at each other, but I'm for these streets. I'm for these streets. I said, baby, it's okay because I'm for the streets. I'm so sorry. We can't do the not. I can't. But like, there are going to be some things that like he won't do. I mean, they won't do over things that my other partners will do. You know what I mean? Like, they may have less interest in age play. Say they have less interest in age play, and I still want to be little, so I find someone else who can do the same thing. They don't technically have to collar me, I feel like, but like,
but they could dom you.
Yeah, but they could dom me. Like, I can play with multiple people depending on whatever the dynamic is for that reason. Like, I taught for content. I taught for a lot of other people that are other partners. I get the choice to I never have to choose. I love this. I never have to choose.
See, it's good because it seems like you're genuinely like, this is genuinely your orientation, and like, you know, so many people do it for the wrong reasons and they don't have a help. I saw your face, so you understand what I'm saying. So many people do it for the wrong reasons, have the wrong intentions, and they think they know how to poly, but they don't, and it becomes a very toxic situation. You know, you can speak on your experiences if you would like.
The poly journey. So I started being poly before I joined Kink. I was actually poly. I would consider myself poly my whole life because like I never, even in school, I never dated one person. Okay. It just never happened. I was always dating one person and sleeping with other people, or, you know, dating one person and dating a guy and always dating a girl. I've never been the one to, no. The moment somebody says, well, I don't want you dating somebody else, I'm like, see, I don't know if this is going to work, my guy. You definitely got a dick, and I definitely like eating cats. So like we gotta like we gonna have to like.
Yeah, I'm cracking up.
or like previous partner, he was just very much like, oh, well, you know, all of these extra rules, but then didn't want to apply them to himself. And I was just like, no. It's a two-way street, sir. You're not going to hold me to some standard that you do not hold yourself to at any point. No, that's a no-go for me. Like, you can't tell me, oh, I got to tell you what I'm doing at every making moment. But then, like, with the moment I ask you where you going, you like, why you asking? Mm-hmm. I'm asking for a reason. You want to know where I'm at for safety purposes. I want to know where you at for safety purposes. Like, what if you get in a car accident and the police call me and tell me you dead? Now what do I have? I don't know where you is. I don't know. He been down the street somewhere, been gone for 5 hours to 2 weeks. I don't know nothing. You know, I can't do that. I don't refuse to be in the dark on any side of a relationship. So like we either gonna be on the same page or we just can't do it.
Classic fuckboy energy.
Oh, you know. I can't stand the fuck boys. I can't stand it. It's the fuck boys and the fuck girls and the fuck days because they're all there. Everybody got it.
The fuck days.
The fuck days be on some shit too. I'm just saying because I used to be one. I kind of early on in the polyamory, I was just like, yeah, I may not be communicating well, but like you don't like it, and you don't like that I want to do this, and I don't care because you're not making me pick a side. I was just like, I refuse to pick a side.
Yeah, I think that hashtag fuck they. Yes, we need to implement that. Put that on a t-shirt because that's the thing.
That is a thing. It is. Like, I have dated trans people, non-binary people, straight people, cis people, gay people, whatever kind of people. And like, there's always one that is just extra on some toxic. I've had the partners that didn't want you to go nowhere without them. And I'm like, man, I work. I have to go shoot. I can't take you on the date with the other content creator everywhere I go, ma'am. Like, you gotta go sit down and make plans by yourself. Why? And then, but I didn't make any plans. Okay, that's not my problem. Make friends. Why can't y'all learn to make friends? Y'all don't need to be up under my left titty. Like, y'all don't.
I love it. I freaking love it. It's so funny to me because I was like trying not to engage in an argument with someone on as I like to do, but I was trying not to because they made the ignorant comment that I believe that this person is on a spectrum because they don't have any emotional intelligence, and I was like, ho ho ho. Like we're not gonna do that because emotional intelligence has nothing to do with whether you're on a spectrum or not.
No,
at all. There are people that are nowhere near touching the spectrum but have absolutely no emotional intelligence or maturity, and their attachment styles are for shit.
Right. That has everything to do with parenting. That has everything to do with other examples you have outside of the home. That has everything to do with what you expose yourself to. Like, people don't realize if you stay in your shell, you are never going to learn what it looks like on the other side. Like, if you stay in your shell, you are never going to know, oh, well, I could never do that. The poly, like, when people tell me, oh, I could never be poly, I'm like, you didn't want to grow out of your insecurities. That's not my problem.
Right.
Well,
you want to hold on.
So this is the problem I have, and you are actually, you're giving me a different perspective, right?
Yeah.
Just your whole energy and like the way you're communicating and stuff. The problem I have is that the people that are the most vocal about being poly are the worst.
Oh,
the worst at it. They're the ones that need to shut the fuck up.
Please,
like that's the problem I have with it, because I don't have a problem with people that want to be poly. I was like, I'll think about it. Maybe I could do it or whatever. But it's the people that are the loudest about it, and so I'm Mr. Mrs. Poly or whatever. They're horrible at it, and they use it as an excuse to not treat their partner well or respect their partner's boundaries and feelings. And that's the issue I have with it.
And then I've also had the people that call themselves polyamorous when they're more polygyny, when they want to be the man with the harem. And I'm just like, sir, I'm gonna need you to take your 50-year-old ass and walk down over here in this corner.
That's crazy.
Pulling this many hoes. I promise you. Ain't nobody trying to sleep with you and your 60-year-old behind. Do you know how many times I've been hit up by 60 and 50-year-old men talk about I'm trying to be your daddy down man. I don't want to live with you and your wife and the sister wife that you have in the room by herself. I don't want to do it. That's not my place. I'm so sorry. You will not like me. You will not like me. I am not blindly obedient. I'm so sorry.
I am
We will have to fight. We will have to fight. Like, and I see that a lot in the Black community, so much more than I see it in the white community when it comes to kink. I see so many Black men just being like, we about to rack up 5 women and be in this house, and I'm gonna have all my slaves. And I'm just like, so we want to be massive?
That's way too many.
We want to be massive that bad? I ain't know we was out here trying to be massive. Wait a minute. Sir, I hate, and like that's the part of like kink that like makes it hard for me, because I'm just like, people are like, oh, we'll get, they kind of fit you in this weird box. Like, I'm a switch. I don't have to pick a side. I am not an S type when this one wants to look at. I'm not a submissive when this one wants to look at me. When this Dom looking at me, no. I've always been and will be a switch. And I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle of gender. I'm in the middle of the sexual binary, and I'm in the middle of the Dom and sub. I am not. There's no choice. It's the middle. Middle is comfortable.
And I have a question about that. Do you think you being autistic plays a role in that middle identifier? Yeah.
I feel like because it's being autistic and being on the ADHD spectrum. Like I have combined type ADHD, which is like the hyperactive and the inattentive into one. So like I always need some kind of change or different stimulation in order for it to feel like leveled, right? So like I can't stick with one thing. I get bored. I need like untoxically bored. Like I can be toxically bored. Like you will see me hit up a man and just be like, I'm trying to get this dopamine real quick. You talking to me? You want to send me this money? That feels good. Like, but like I'm straightforward, no cap. Like I'm just like, nah, bro. Like this is what I'm here for. If you want something else, I'm so sorry. Can't help you.
Where is your sign?
I'm a Leo.
Oh,
hey.
Leo too. Tokyo's a Leo too.
I'm a Leo rising. Words.
Sun, moon, rising.
What's my moon sign? I am an Aquarius moon and
a
Libra.
Hey, I think that's kind of like you.
Leo sun, Aquarius.
I love Aquariuses. Aquariuses make me happy. My best friend is an Aquarius.
Well, then you are surrounded by wonderful people. Then is what I'm saying.
Yes. But no, like I love me some Aquariuses. Like I guess the big Leo energy is where I get this big confidence and like the charisma that everybody talks about. I feel like most of the time I'm just being my little bit of autistic self, unmasking a little bit, and then everybody's just like, "Hey, you kind of weird, but you cool." I'm like, I kind of was just going for weird, but I just.
You're not weird. It's fun. You're very fun or something like excitable.
But you ain't catch me on the day where I'm like vocally stimming randomly, like.
That'd be the day, right?
The day where I'm just randomly singing Disney music because I can't stop and it just keeps playing in the head, or the one song 16,000 times a day, and everybody's looking at me. You want to change the song? No, I'm cool. I'm cool, bro. This is good. This is good. Right?
I find it refreshing, but it doesn't bother me because I'm used to my daughter and her quirks or whatever. So I really hope that eventually she grows to be, as stable in her sense of self as you are. And like for y'all that don't know, I met Fidget at a photo shoot. So we were doing a Disney boudoir photo shoot, and that's how I met Fidget. And she just and they just mentioned that they were autistic, and I was like, oh my god, my daughter's
I was hiding in the corner.
They were.
I was hiding in the corner. Everybody came over here looking at me like, what you doing over there?
They were in the corner, but I don't feel like everybody was looking at you. I think we all, we all were just like a little. The wonderful thing about Amanda is like she brings together people who look like they are vastly different, but we all have these like little similarities, and so it's always a good time at her photo shoots. Like we have a great time. For y'all who don't know what I'm talking about Amanda Swigger Photography, Philadelphia Boudoir. Like love her to death. Wonderful person. But her photo shoots where I don't like to be around women or female presenting people, and I have an issue with that. But
I like eating cat. I can't. Sometimes cis women make it very hard this is why dating sucks. I've been looking for a girlfriend for the past 2 years. I just a one stable girlfriend. just so I could be, because I feel like I like to have my mask presenting partner, so I could feel, I get the mask energy, and I'm like, all right, cool, we bros, right? And then I'm over here, and I'm just like, I just want to put on pretty makeup and look like a princess. That's all, right? No, I can't do that, because sometimes you either get the girls that don't know what to do, and then they don't know how to communicate their needs, and this is all because we've been brought up to not have needs, right? We've been told we're not allowed to have those, right? But then now I gotta sit here and struggle with ma'am who ain't sit here and do her therapy so she can figure out why she can't communicate what she wants out of sex, out of relationships, out of nothing. She's just like, I'm just here for the fun. What's that mean? Man, what does that mean? What is fun to you? What do you like doing? Do you want to watch the show? Or I don't know, put on whatever. What does that mean? Like, I don't know what that means.
Fidget, you sound like a man right now.
I've seen the switch happen.
Yes.
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 What does that mean, my guy? I don't understand. And then I'll be like, all right, I'll get past that point. We finally watching something fun, but then I can't get you to tell me tell me if you want to do something fun. And Kiki, they be looking at me after the fact, talking about something. Well, you be tying up other people. I just be wanting to. I'm like, bitch, when? You ain't say not a damn thing to me. I ask questions. You want to do this thing? I got rope. You want to watch? Oh, ma'am. Just tell me the damn thing. I really can't do it. I can't do it. Y'all need to talk to y'all children. Tell them it's okay to talk. Tell them it's okay to tell them what you want. Because I'm tired of it. Please.
Women are very frustrating, which is why I've said it before. Like, I can't fucking do it. Like, it's too much. It's way. And don't get me wrong, men are a lot. Men are a whole lot, and they annoy the fuck out of me. They very much so.
Yes,
but
all of that.
I can on some level understand even some of the fuck shit they do. With women, I just really be puzzled. Like, I don't even know what you want. Like, do you know what you want? You don't know what you want. I feel like you try me on like a garment
and then put me away.
Right.
I'm just the next. I'm this week's clothing. I'm this week's clothing, bro. I was like, I get enough of this from cis men. Can we not? Like, I get enough of this from men trying me on.
Sorry, y'all. We having a queer moment right now.
Right, we realize a queer moment.
Y'all understand. This is a queer moment.
As an experiment for some couple or some curious girl who was just like, I just want to eat pussy one time and see how it feels.
Mm-hmm.
I am not an experiment.
Mm-hmm.
I am a whole human with emotions and feelings. I want to treat you better than you. I want you to forget about your boyfriend, bro. Your boyfriend exists, okay? I want you to come over here and forget your boyfriend exists. I don't know why that's difficult.
Because people are not honest with themselves. They're not honest about their feelings and their wants and their needs. They you already know how that goes. If you can't be honest with yourself, then you can't be honest with anybody else.
And the first thing they do is they lie to themselves. It's the fucked up part. Like, I'm just waiting for my. I've had women that'll date me, sleep with me, and then be like, well, I'm trying to have a boyfriend, and I'm just like, bruh. Like, let me go put on the Supreme boxes real quick. I got you. Put the Supremes on. I got you, bro. What you mean? I got the strap in the back. Like, what? Like, I'm ready. What are y'all talking about? Like, I promise y'all.
I got a question for you. Do you prefer biological real penis or the strap?
Another new thing to talk about.
Yes.
That is the bird, everybody.
Hello, bird.
That's Birdie.
Bird the dog.
Birdie
and dog. Come on over. All the pets have come to visit.
They want to know what's going on too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, straps or dick. So like I've had my fair share of large penis. I'm a size queen. Okay. I like it if it ain't big. you probably not gonna make me finish. just put it honest. Usually, right? Never really happens when you get the small peen and it be good. So like, that's mainly because men don't know what to do with their small pee. It's just they just don't know what to do. They just be jamming you, and then they think that's great, and then you just be like, sir, you don't even know that I've already faked 5 comes, and it's fine. I'm good. I'm a good actor. Like, come on. I have plenty of times pretended my way through sex. Plenty of times. I feel like that's also part of being neurodivergent, because like the shit turns off in the middle if you do one thing wrong and it's over. But like,
yeah, I see that.
My new partner is on the smaller end, and they really like toys. And I've liked certain dildos. I'm bougie. You need to get, if you ain't spent $100 on the dildo, it's probably not gonna feel nice for me. It's just gonna be too much, or just not. It's not squishy enough. It don't feel like flesh enough. You know, it's got nice, like soft and squishy, a little squishy, but like solid in the middle. Like you gotta have a nice, good one. But they bought this one real nice dildo, and they've been using them on me, and I'm just kind of like, oh my god, if you just actually had like 4 more inches, like this shit would be like, oh, like you lit without the 4 inches, but damn, like if you had 4, oh, this bitch, you nigga.
Well,
Dildos can feel that good, shit. So
this dildo stroke is out of this world. Huh?
The stroke is great. The stroke is amazing. Whoever fucked up with this last person, I'm so sorry, but that one's mine now. I've been snatched it. It's gonna be for me.
Cracking up.
It's for me, because that's how I be. But no, like they was doing the thing with the strokes, and whoo, it's just waterworks every time.
that's lovely.
Every time.
Have you told them this? Have you said this? You said you had like 4 or 5.
No, we just have. That's the thing. It's never out of like shade or nothing.
No,
it's just like scientifically, like I lose a later weight. Do you think you'll have like 3 more inches there? Because like I'm trying to see what it feel like without the strap real quick. I'm trying to see.
Can you just grow 4 more inches for me real quick? You can put it back once it's done.
I love it the way it is, but I'm just saying, like, come on, this is a different, because it's a different level. Like smaller PP, I'm gonna say PP, penis, dick, whatever you want to call it. Smaller dick is just they rub the G spot, but then they can't get the A spot in the back, like right under the cervix, like right under the cervix. When you rub that spot, oh, it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. It's like it's another world. I'm like, I thought that only, I thought that this was just only for real PP. And then I said, oh no, this is, somebody know what to do with this.
Yeah, try to find them angles.
Gotta find them angles.
Are you saying that they strap?
Yes, they'll strap them on themselves. Yes.
Top of theirs?
Yes. They have a pair of boxers that has 2 holes in it, so you could use it for double penetration if you wanted. But they got 2 holes, and then the bottom hole sits like right where it's supposed to sit, and they'll pull them up like underwear and then go to town.
And what is he doing with his? Is he? I mean, are they like masturbating while they like what?
No. They don't like, my partner doesn't really have to penetrate me to get off.
Okay.
So like they don't really, that penetration penetration is just like it's a bonus. Like we could do that afterwards. But like usually like they kind of like they'll penetrate me because they want to, but like they also like to last for a long time, and they also like to make sure that I am satisfied. So they're like, bro, we got lots of toys, like the toy collection. And I'm just like, so I'm gonna try that one. Ooh, and we got the dragon one over there, you know what I'm saying? And we got
the dragon one. I gotta see what that'd be like.
I should have brought my toys. I should have been like, look at this beautiful thing.
Is it like the dragon tail one or?
No. I have a bad dragon dildo. and it is called Nox, and it's like smooth and like textured, but like minimally it's more like ridges than like spikes or anything like that. Like some of them are all scaled up to look like a dragon, but then there's some of them that just smooth and slick, and it's marvelous. It's so girthy. I only got the medium. I didn't even get the large. And you put this thing up and it's already like 8 inches. And I'm like, it's beautiful. Yes. I used to use that on the women's all the time. And then I was just like, no, I got this new one, and it's a little slim. It looks like a crystal.
I could just listen to Fidget talk.
Look, we can have a chat for a few days. I'm just saying, like, we be on. I'm the kind of person that likes the phone. I like to talk on the phone. I like video chat. For being autistic and neurodivergent, I prefer to talk to people that I'm cool with, like that are on the same playing field as me, on the phone or over voice chat or anything like that. I hate text messages. Like text messages feed into like the paperwork issue that comes with being neurodivergent. Because me doing a test, me doing paperwork at the doctor's office, I forget how to spell my own name.
Okay.
Like the anxiety gets so loud, I'll forget how to spell my name. That's the one time I'm like, I feel so stupid. And it's not even me. It's just the brain doesn't like the paperwork. So then I usually have to sit there and be like, all right, you want to write this? Hey, babe, can you write this down for me while I tell you what to say? You could just ask me questions. And see, I'm a question person. You ask me questions, I give you all the answers I know because I got all it in the brain somewhere. Right. It's a cult of web brain.
When were you diagnosed? Like, when did you find out that you had ADHD and that you were autistic?
Technically, if we want to go down the rabbit hole, 4th grade. 4th grade is when somebody told my mother that I was dyslexic and possibly had ADHD. Because I couldn't read out loud and I was struggling to like not. The dyslexia was just like switching everything around in the middle of a sentence. And then my mom really didn't see it through because she didn't know. Like, you know, Black people in the 90s and the early 2000s, we didn't know nothing about that, especially with femmes. You weren't even, AFAB individuals weren't told that they had ADHD. You were just, you're a little hyper. You'd be all right. She likes to talk. That's all right. Right. No, I need help. Actual assistance would be nice instead of you telling me I'm cool. It's all right. You're supposed to be like that. No, that's not how I'm supposed. I don't think this is how everybody else functions. But I got diagnosed March of 2022, right after my partner of 10 years left. He had left in January, and he would not believe me at all. No matter what I told him, no matter what symptoms popped up, no matter what, like he just gaslit me into believing that I was crazy. Like, so then. Oh,
fuck him.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Woo!
Yeah.
That's right.
But no. He didn't. After like being with me for so long, he would have eventually saw all of the symptoms and be able to point it out, but he just refused. He just refused to acknowledge it because him acknowledging it would mean him acknowledging he was wrong. Correct. So, then
narcissist.
Yes. Right there. And he also this feeds into the conversation earlier. He also gives you, I'm on the spectrum. But like, I know due to his trauma and his issues, he just never emotionally matured. So therefore, he just doesn't know what to do with his feelings, and he doesn't know what to do with anybody else's. So he just says, "Oh, they don't exist." That's just it's the stigma that comes along with that. So like, some people can have narcissistic personality disorder, but us being ADHD and being on the spectrum, we are very, very prone to being narcissistic. Like, don't get me wrong, we are very prone to being narcissistic. If we are unchecked and untaught, we will definitely go down the route of narcissism. But like. And that's something that a lot of people are like figuring out over time. Like because I was told I was the narcissist. And I'm like, I swear I care about people's feelings. Like, I'm like, in my brain, like literally I'm talking to 15 different people to make sure I'm right. And I'm like, did I do this right? Because this man said this and I said this. And then now we over here. Oh, you cool?
You sound like me. You sound like me.
You really do.
No, they sound like me because I know that I have traits, right? My mother was a narcissist very much. She was a borderline too, right? But she was a narcissist as well. And I attract narcissists to me. But I know that growing up in the household, you know, you're going to get hit. You're going to get hit with the narcissist brick. Like, I know I have traits. So I go out of my way to self-check.
Yes.
First of all, I go to therapy. That's number one.
Yes.
Second of all, I self-check. So I'll screenshot shit and send it to my therapist and be like, is it me? Am I tripping? Is it me? I need to know, is it me? Like,
if it's me, I'll fix it.
Right.
And that's the difference between being an emotionally mature person with ADHD and autism and being someone who isn't emotionally mature enough or aware enough to of themselves. Like I've always been very empathetic. I've always been very aware of what's going on with me, but I've never been able to get the words to explain it to somebody else. Like it took me years to get there. When I started getting there, I had already been in therapy for 4 years, and my therapist looked at me and said, I do not think you have bipolar disorder. Mm-hmm. Because that's what they thought it was. They're like, oh, we listen to you describe your meltdowns. Oh, you just have anxiety and mood swings. We'll just give you all this bipolar medication. No, none of that worked. It just made you depressed. Hella depressed. Can't get out of bed depressed. I don't like that. I already get like that on my own. Can we just like not give me pills that make it worse? But in March, I had got diagnosed, and then they were just like, yeah, you know, I had went to the Center of Autism in Philly. A lot of people, like, it's hit or miss. Like, I realized a lot of people think doctors are hit or miss because they never have been taught the words. They've never been taught the right words to say to a doctor, to say, hey, this is how this actually feels in the body. And doctors don't think to ask you, how does this feel for you? Mm-hmm. So that way they can match it up to the list of symptoms. Because the moment my therapist said, hey, I think you got ADHD and you autistic. And I was just like, I was just looking this up because borderline personality, bipolar disorder, ADHD and autism, they overlap similarly. And like the symptoms look similar to each other. And people can't tell. The only difference is the frequency and how and what causes it. Like for me, I'm a push button. Like you push my button too many times, an explosion's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, so you gotta like, gaslighting is like the worst thing to do to me. The moment you tell me, oh, that's not how that happened, I'm like, are you sure? Because I'm looking at this text message. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm making sure people telling me shit in text message. I make sure you say it in text so you can so I can show your ass. You want some extra shit. Cause like I've especially run into a lot of people with BPD. Like borderline personality disorder, by the way, because bipolar disorder and BPD are not the same. Exactly. Borderline personality people can't come out of their blinders at all until they're out of their episode. So like a lot of the times I would get in arguments with my friends and be like, why the fuck am I over here apologizing for something I didn't even do? Why am I apologizing? Because I don't want the friendship to end. And then I'm like, and then they're making me feel like I'm the crazy one. Like I did something to them that was worse than what they did to me. I'm like, bro, wait. Yo, Kai, did I do this right? Because I swear. And they're like, no. They having an episode themselves. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, so we just gonna leave that alone because I can't deal with that. Like if I can't tell you you've done something to me that made me upset and like, or you've triggered something with me, like some kind of trauma or whatever the case may be, because I can't, that's the thing about autism and ADHD, you can't control the episode. You can prevent, you can avoid, but you can't necessarily stop the big emotion from being big while it's already big. You gotta wait that out. It's already too late. You gotta cope and wait that out, or and for me, because I'm ADHD, I need a lot of like outside like motivation and a lot of outside coping that I can't do myself because all of this is internal and in the brain and it's already here. So it's like, whoa, it's already here. It's too big. I don't know how to stop the train. The train is going. It's going and going. And then, you know, I got to have a partner being like, you're not crazy. It's okay for you to have feelings. I just need you to to smallen the feelings. Let's talk about them so they get smaller, right? And sometimes when I'm in the middle of a meltdown, I can't talk. I have to text. I have to write it out. I have to do other ways to communicate that something is going on with me that I can't verbalize, because nonverbal space is just, it's not the fun space. Nobody likes being nonverbal. It's painful. It's like honestly worse than an anxiety attack for me. Being like when I'm already past the anxiety attack and now we're just silent. It's just, oh, we're here again. How do I communicate? Now my partner's asking me 15 questions. Why? You need this? Are you okay? Why are you quiet? I don't know. Don't ask me this question. Now I'm even more quiet because I don't know how to answer this goddamn question. And now I'm asking myself 15,000 times. Why am I quiet? What is the matter? Hello.
So
Like,
what's the best thing to do in a situation like that? Because what you're saying, it resonates. Like, I see my daughter goes through that. She gets frustrated. I'm asking her questions, and she's like, I can't, like, literally, I can't, like,
the head patting.
The head patting, right.
So what I do is, what I also suggested to one of my friends, because one of my friends also went through their partner going through their first autistic meltdown in the relationship, flashcards.
Okay. So,
like, you have your daughter write with you on some index cards some of her favorite things that'll help calm herself, like sensory toys. They had to hand, like, the first meltdown I had with Nick, I had to be handed a fidget toy so I could just ground myself, because sometimes talking is too much. So if you ask me a question while I'm already in meltdown mode, it's adding to the meltdown mode. It's not relaxing the meltdown mode because you're concerned. So what I do is no vocal sounds. I turn everything off. I turn the lights off if it's too much. I'll turn down the sound in the room because I can still hear electricity. So if everything is on, I'm still gonna hear the computer humming in the background, or the TV hum, or the ice machine going down, or somebody's car door down the street slamming. I can hear all that all the time. So it's like that doesn't. So what I do is get in a dark room, turn the music off, turn that noise off, get quiet, and get like getting me back to breathing is like the best way to get me to center enough that I can actually verbalize something. So if you can't verbalize, I told my friend, because she has narcolepsy, to do the flashcards. So you write down all your favorite things, fidgets. Write down a card saying I need to write. Write down a card that says I need to text this. I write down a card that I need my tablet. I need this. So that way you can just put a flashcard in front of their face and they can point to it if necessary. Okay. Because I can't. Sometimes trying to text gets too much because I can't look at the screen. Or sometimes writing, my hands are shaking too bad that I can't actually write. So flashcards, next best thing. Also having a full-on fidget box, like in stretchy, squishy, click-clack noise that's soft and subtle. Hold on, I'll show you one of my favorites.
All good information.
I love fidgets so much. This is very helpful, even except for Savannah doesn't use her stuff. I have all those things for her, not the flashcards, but she has all that stuff, like all of it.
I got to put it in the box and actually present it to her when she, you know what I mean? Like, she can't think about where it's at when she's having a moment. You know what I mean?
Right.
In the meantime, the TV is broken again.
That's she won't have one. She will not have one.
It's not broken.
Okay. So for me, I like this.
I like some Dr. Seuss.
It's a stackable thing, but
it's a slug.
I like it. That's cute. Yeah.
But the clack is nice and peaceful, and I could play with that. I have this. It's not an actual knife. It's balsam.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Just doing this motion for me sometimes is enough.
Now listen, I would like that for myself.
Right? It's really fun to figure out. I learned this in 2 weeks. Like, okay. I learned to do this. Hold on.
Now the thing is, I was just saying while you were getting your fidgets.
Yeah.
Like, I have all those things for her, but when she gets angry, she doesn't use them. We got like I would venture to say she has at least 100 plushies, and she has all these fidgets, and she uses none of those things when she's upset. She'll break something.
That is me. That is me. Angry is different. Angry is different. Like meltdown is like a lot of anxiety, frustration in one go. Angry is like you just have to let it sometimes happen. Like for me at least, I have to let it happen. I have to like let the feeling go by in order for me to be able to communicate. Sometimes being like, all right, if you're gonna be angry, go to your room. Punch your pillows, throw whatever soft thing in there. Don't be slamming nothing glass. Please.
Oh no,
it's
the tablet, it's the TV, it's the phone. She's
a little further than me.
So
like,
no, because this is the thing. Hard. It's a lot of times it's connected to gaming. So she's gaming, and then something happens with the game, or it's a glitch, or whatever the case may be, and then next thing you know, punching the TV, punching the screen, whatever, So.
Oh no, we gotta find a different outlet for that.
Hey Sal, I am trying. Listen, Fidget, I am trying. My wall, there is holes all in my wall. Yeah, she's a puncher.
You're on your like third, fourth, fifth tablet.
I need a punching bag. I mean, because I feel like I haven't been to that extreme in a while. So me, when I get to that extreme, the first thing that happens is I throw something on the floor. I throw everything off the table and just leave. And I just leave the room and then sit down in my quiet and usually end up rocking or stimming for a while until I get comfortable. But she needs a panic room.
Okay.
Panic room, yeah.
Like a small little panic room that she can just destroy shit in. That way she can just tear up whatever she want to tear up and be like, no, take that to your panic closet. Take that to your little spot where you throw stuff in there and don't be tearing up the house.
Because I didn't know for a long time, because I give her space, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she's 12, so she's going through puberty. She's about to be 13.
Oh, and that's emotional hormones. That's making it worse.
Exactly.
Nobody also talks about that.
I'm in the bathroom. I'm like, I keep hearing this banging. What are you doing in there? I'm not one of those people that I'm constantly in my child's room. What's going on in here? She hasn't displayed that I needed to do that. So for a long time, I just would be like, what are you doing in there? Nothing, and then eventually she showed me, she lifted her curtain, and I'm like, what the fuck? All these, all the plaster out. So you was punching. I was surprised that her knuckles hadn't bled the way she put a hole. You can almost see outside.
Look. I will tell you something right now. Autistic strength. Autistic strength.
Unparalleled.
You get me mad enough.
Ain't nothing can stop you.
You can't feel nothing. You can't feel that so much cortisol is running in your system that you can't feel the pain. Until I won't. I remember getting in a fight in high school, and I it borderline blackout, but I remember everything I did. I just could not stop the body from doing it. Right. When I tell you I threw this one girl 3 discs into 3 discs, just turned around, threw it, and immediately felt bad.
Hulk smash.
And immediately felt bad. And and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. And then I'm like, why am I apologizing? She was pissing me to fuck off. Why am I apologizing? She was pissing me to fuck off. Why am I even bothered to apologize? But we also we have to get I think we have to get through it in order to get to the calm. You might have to ask her therapist and be like, look, what can we do? Because therapist is going to give you a better outlet than me, because I'm a medical professional. I'm just saying. But
I got a punching bag. If you want it, you can use it.
I would say
help me.
Get her into some kind of into a martial arts class.
She don't want to.
She don't want to. She ain't got the motivation. She probably ain't got the motivation.
She
but
don't.
if you only get into a martial arts class, you can get her like one of those pillar johns that swing back at you, so she can just punch at that instead. And it's like training anybody. You got to get her to direct that attention elsewhere and not on the things that are valuable. Like, don't break the TV. Punch.
We're trying. She hasn't done it in a while because the last time she was so upset with herself, like so upset. It was like it broke my heart how upset she was with herself. You know what I mean? So she
afterwards is terrible. It's so terrible.
Yeah, because she's she's a sweetheart. Like she's a gentle child.
Yeah,
but you know when she gets mad or someone is not doing what she wants them to do. Like, why are you not doing what I want you to do? I'm telling you to do this, and you should be doing what I'm telling you to do because I told you to do it.
And I wonder if that's where I get my boss stuff from. Where I get the bossy shit from. Because, like, honestly, that be me. Why you ain't doing it the way I asked you to do it? Especially when I'm anxious. I've had like anxiety meltdowns in the house cleaning, and then my partner look at me like, "Babe, why are you so angry? You slamming everything?" And I'm cussing. Well, I need help. This is that, and then they're slamming stuff, and this and that, and then they're just like, "You done? You done your thing?" And I'm just like, "No, everything. You don't even help me." And they're like, "You didn't ask me." I asked too many times nicely. I'm not gonna. And now you want to worry about it while I'm screaming. And because I'm too frustrated, I don't see that I'm being like all over the place. I just see that this feeling is big, and I can't get right. I don't know how to tell you this. Like the only thing I could tell you is probably teaching her to be able to disconnect. Like, I'm frustrated, stop. Like, you got to get her before she starts getting angry. Because me, it's also part of being rejection sensitive, because I feel like I have to be perfect at everything. Right. Like, if I am not perfect at everything, then I'm a failure. So then my brain does the like, no, this is you're a piece of shit. You can't do this shit. And now you have to throw everything, right? No, that's probably what her brain is doing. She's probably like, bro, this sucks. I can't do this thing, and I don't like it. This thing don't want to do what I want. Now I have to throw it because it's stupid. It's stupid. Stupid. All things stupid. Yeah, that's just what
I can see that. I definitely could see that.
Like, I know I can tell you what's happening, trying to get it to de-escalate in the moment. That's a little bit of a task. Yeah, so that's a lot of patience. That's a lot of redirection. Like,
some days I'm good and some days I'm not.
And that's also probably because you are also probably neurodivergent and also have issues with being frustrated. Because, like, I may not be like all the way autistic and like, all like further on in the spectrum as some people, but like I feel like the only reason why I'm not out here being foolish is because I had a mom that was sitting here just eventually being like, okay, this is just how you gonna react, and I need to step away and let you be for a while, and then I'm gonna come back and talk to you when you come.
Right.
I was gonna ask you about like your parent, like your mom and your upbringing and stuff like that.
We can talk about it.
So you said that your mom at the beginning, you said she was like, basically you just this type of way you find. Oh, okay.
No, in the beginning, my mom was very much like, she didn't know what was wrong with me, so she just kind of like, oh, you're just a problem child. Like, it was like, I failed a lot of classes in school. I slept a lot during school. I did not sleep at night. Like, I was waking up at 7:30. I was falling asleep at 7:30 in the morning, right when the alarm was going off to go to school. Like, and my mom would be like, you still in the bed? I just fell asleep. No, I'm the youngest.
Okay.
Yeah, I have 2 half siblings. But they were already grown and out of the house, not in the house with me. I was in there with my mom by myself. So she just kind of was dealing with me going through teenage years right about the time when everybody else was already gone. So my hormones was going crazy, and she couldn't figure out why. And she had me in church with the Bible thumping and the loud noise. And I could tell you about the meltdown at church. I could tell you about that. like she wasn't understanding at first because she thought like I was just like any other kid, just going through my own kid things a different way. And then as time went on and things started becoming repetitive, like my meltdown specifically, she couldn't put 2 and 2 together that I don't need to be overstimulated. So me sitting in church from 10 a.m. till 4:30 in the afternoon, not being able to leave and go outside and get a fresh piece of air away from all the loud and the people and the... I hated church. I hated church so bad.
I can imagine that church was a lot.
It was one, I was too smart for church. So like I was the one that was questioning the pastor every 5 minutes and putting holes in every little story.
And they don't like questions.
And they don't like questions. And then the moment you start asking too many questions, you're a distraction. You're distracted from God's peace, whatever the case may be. And I'm like, man, I just want to. You not making sense. Like I'm literal. Like right. Like I'm real literal. Like I'm asking you a very logical question. Like how can this man have made all of these people and we not out here with all the deformities in the world? Like I'm confused. Like how is there no people here? Are you sure? Right. Like I feel like.
And they was like, come get your child and take her.
Like, right, come take this child somewhere, please, because this child is doing too much. and I was the kid, doodling in church because I needed something else to focus on, so I could not be overstimulated. So I'm like doodling. Oh, stop that! Taking the crayons from me, taking everything. And you want me not to fall asleep? You want me not to fall asleep? You want me to listen? So I need something to do with my hands, right? And then there was the one time she was like yelling at me. She did a lot of like cornering me yelling when I was growing up. So like she would like yell at me in the middle of doing a task. Like she'd say, "Oh, you didn't do the dishes," and then do the entire dishes while screaming at me the whole time like any other black mom. And then not realizing, you could have just let me do the thing. Like you could have just corrected me gently, and then I would have just done the thing right.
Right.
Instead of yelling because you're frustrated.
Right.
But my mom also didn't know she was neurodivergent. She didn't start figuring that out until she was already getting really sick. So I had dealt with her up until I was like 19, treating me like that, like cornering me and yelling at me until I melt down and don't realize why I'm melting down and be like, why are you crying? You're being dramatic, this, and that kind of thing. And then later on, my therapist is talking to me and we're talking about those meltdowns, but she thinks they're, blackouts instead. And was not that. Then come to term, like as I started getting into therapy and like giving her words for things, like explaining things better, actually having like because I would just shut down. Like her yelling at me would just make me shut down and go nonverbal, and she didn't even realize that that's what she was doing until later, until I was like almost an adult. I was like 19, 20, and I was just like, bruh, this is not okay. Like you keep doing this to me and I can't. You don't know what it feels like for your body to scream for you, like your entire existence to scream for you to do something that you you shouldn't.
Right.
Like you're putting me in fight or flight and you don't know that you're doing that. Like I had to explain it to her like that when she was sick. She was like freaking out herself. She had cancer and I was taking care of her in my 20s. 26 years old is dealing with cancer. But that's when she started coming around. She was like realizing, oh, I'm anxious. And I'm like, you're frazzled is making me frazzled. Right. Like I can't help you if you upset. You gotta woosah before we come and have this conversation. And then I had to like which started making me feel like I was being the parent later on, which was a lot of going on. Like it was like that. And then I didn't have my dad growing up either. So like he wasn't even really a good support for her. So she had to deal with a lot of it herself, which is why she was getting frustrated. Because she's like, I'm working every day, all day, every day. Then I come home and then I have to deal with you and your moods and your attitude, and I don't know how to talk to you, and you don't have to talk to me, and it was just a lot. Like, and her not knowing that she possibly could be on the spectrum, like we had the same, like we got along as much as we fought. We got along a lot. Like she would be real good at the like, gaslighting you out of stuff, but then she would like, do the pebbling thing to get you back. So she's just like, let's watch a movie.
Like little breadcrumbs.
Breadcrumb it get you to try to like not be mad at her no more, right? And eventually I'm like, Mom, this is not okay. I need my space. I need my space. You can watch the movie by yourself. I gotta go in the room.
So
like I'm
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, good.
Do you think that anything in your childhood like contributed to any of the kinks or fetishes that you have in adulthood?
That's a whole other can of worms right there.
All right. So
yeah,
I can tell for a fact, pup play came from watching Westminster Dog Show. I was just like, look at these fancy dogs. Look at how pretty. I wanna be the fancy dog. Right? I was, because especially watching a standard poodle in the continental cut, I was just like, that's a beautiful dog. Nobody understands how beautiful the fair blowing.
That could be me.
That could be me. I got an afro. We can make that work, right? And for the longest time, I thought it was because I wanted to do dog grooming. Like, I really enjoyed creating and making things, and I thought it was dog grooming. And then I was just like, no, I actually just like the dog. I want to be the dog. The dog is cool. Like, they got somebody walking them and they happy. But I didn't figure that out until later. I feel like I figured that out like the last couple years. I was like, that's what that came from? That explains. Because I want to do because the first thing I wanted to do, I want to do the puppy shows. Because I see the humans do it too. Like, they got the human puppy. And I'm like, I want to do that. I want to get trained so I can do that. And then I'm like, oh, that's where that came from. Like, impact play, we was a child that got beat. I'm sorry, we are millennials. We definitely got beat. We definitely got ass flipped. And I eventually stopped feeling shit. And my mom just started getting mad and was like, so this ain't working. No, it ain't working, Mom. No longer works. I'm too big for this. I'm big enough to hurt you now. Like, I don't think we should be doing the same. And then like I feel like age play came because, you know, not having a dad. Like, I didn't have a caretaker, a male caretaker to take care of me in the right ways. Even where my mom failed in certain sense, I feel like that plays into needing like the power exchange now. But then like there's also like, I feel like I was that 9-year-old that poured hot wax on their hands until they just didn't feel it no more. I was just like, it's wax. I make a wax ball, right? Like, I very much was into shit that I shouldn't have been into. Just mess. Just
okay. Well, at least you know the connections.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it seems like for you to have been diagnosed late, that you really have established like what you need, what your wants are, what your needs are, how to take care of yourself, what your triggers are. Like,
it took a while though. Like, I feel like I'm now at the point where I can voice all those things to anybody starting out at 30. But like at 30, I'm finally like, not only am I able to voice it, I'm also able to stick with it. Like, because that was my issue in my 20s, because I got so used to being a people pleaser and doing everything to make somebody not hate me and not be angry with me, that I just started like allowing things that I knew I wasn't comfortable with. So now at 30, I'm like, oh, we have already been there, done that. I felt like we're at that point where we're too old that we know better, and but we're young enough to still do some fuck shit. Like, we're young enough to still do some stupid shit, but we're old enough to not do it. We know better. Don't do that. We done did that already. We done played the game.
So what did you do to get the tools?
Therapy a lot. Like, I was like very open with my therapists. Like, my therapist, I found one that was non-binary, that I couldn't find a non-binary black one, so I ended up finding a non-binary white person, but that ended up helping still because they were like very aware of like what's going on with the black community and like everything else, so they understood things about what was going on and wasn't like bigoted about shit. So I was able to like talk about stuff and like just talk about it without having to be judged because we're black. And like, then they were just like, no, this is right, this is wrong, you know, pointing out stuff that made me realize, oh, okay, so this is where I'm having an issue, like explaining what trauma was to them, and then realizing, oh, this is trauma. I didn't know this was trauma. I thought this was just normal things that happened as a child, right? Like, you know, like stuff like that. Like, I was taught like a lot of coping mechanisms and DBT skills, but they don't really help when you're autistic. They kind of help for like regular everyday things, but not like if you're having overstim and you don't know how to calm down from overstim. Like they never taught me that until like I got to my new therapist. And that was like what I was taught was just, okay, we turn everything off. We turn everything off. We try to get as quiet as possible, you know, and then we stim how we need to stim, put on something gentle if we can handle that, or just sit in the quiet and just rock, or rant at somebody on the phone. The tangents is very, very something that's very, very useful. I just like tangents are useful. I'm telling you, tangents are great.
I do feel like you're very like articulate and able to speak nicely about. I mean, not nicely, but like
don't
clear.
do white people thing. You're so articulate. Don't do white people
that.
thing.
I'm not talking about like proper. I'm talking about like you're able to voice exactly what you're trying to say, and it makes so much sense and everything. I'm just, for you to have been diagnosed, you know, later. A lot of this stuff are skills that you will learn from, like, you know. So I'm an RBT and I work with like autistic children and stuff like that. So these coping skills, the coping mechanisms, and things like that are things that I teach the children at their young age. And if they're older and you got this stuff later, it's like very cool to see like that your growth. You know what I'm saying? Like the things you did wasn't right. How you can teach people, huh?
I am proud of myself for the growth that I have.
I'm proud of you because I know
that's a whole testimony.
Like I honestly, like it would have saved me in high school to have learned a lot of these coping mechanisms sooner. But like as an adult, I'm able to like explain to people like, yo, this is why this doesn't work. Like, which then people like, oh, well, what about this thing? I need y'all to not tell me to get a planner because planners don't work. I'm so sorry. That is the stupidest thing somebody can tell me to do.
If you saw a TikTok video where somebody was like, if writing shit on a piece of paper,
that
help me. You think I wouldn't have done that already?
You think I would still have this problem? Like, you think I would still have this problem? No, because I'm a fixer. Like, I am the one person that has the jack of all trades. I will pick up something and learn it like that and manage to do it, and you won't even know that I did it from scratch. And then, or you know, manage to, you know, piece together something real quick without having to look at instructions. You know, I'm that kind of person. But like the moment you give me a complicated interpersonal problem, I'm just like, this is now we go in the show. We go in the show. I don't like people. We don't like people. I don't like y'all. I don't know how to talk to me directly. I'm real literal. You gotta be straightforward. Like the way y'all say I can articulate, I have learned that if I don't say exactly what I mean, people will just immediately read between the lines. And I'm like, that's not what I said. Why are y'all like in the head of imaginary conversations? Imaginary conversations.
It takes people their whole lives to get like this, though. Like, it takes their whole lives to understand and mature enough to be able to do that. You know what I mean? And that's it's just so cool to see, though. Like, it takes childhood, adult, like, you have to have somebody your whole life to try to guide you through certain situations.
Yeah. And shoot, up until I was 26, my mom was still taking me to the doctor's office. Yeah. Cancer, taking me to the doctor. I said, Mom, you don't have to do this. No, I got you, honey. I'm here. We don't like you getting ready to throw up. I said, Mom, can we go home? Because you don't. No, I'm gonna sit right here in the car. I'll be all right.
It's exactly why I wanted you to come on, Fidget, because especially like with you know, women and female presenting people that are autistic, they typically get diagnosed incorrectly. So like you said, they thought you were bipolar, or they'll have like other symptoms. They're anorexic, BPD. They'll get diagnosed with everything else except being autistic. And I'm very thankful that my daughter got diagnosed very early when she was 2. But, there's a number of people out there that, are suffering. They're adult women or adult female presenting people, and they don't know. I know some personally. They're like, hey, I think I'm on the spectrum, and they're grown. So I go ahead.
And this is the thing that makes it difficult to as an adult now, because like everyone's like, oh, this is a trend. Like my dad, for example, like he's just like, oh, you must have got that from your mom, bruh. Mr. I'm a tinker every 5 minutes and tear apart everything. Like, Mr. I could not keep a TV in my room because my mom said I'd take everything apart. Like, you've been doing this since day one. That's why you dropped out of high school. Like, you don't even see it. Like, you don't see the issue. Like, my dad, his girlfriend runs his entire business. He does the work, comes home, does nothing else. He has no energy to do anything else because outside of he don't even realize that the loud noises at his job, the bright sun, everything else overstimulates him to the point where he just has to come home, smoke weed, and do nothing else.
I feel
and like, right. And I have to do that now. Like when I was doing dog grooming, I didn't even realize that job was overstimulating. It was loud. The dogs were barking. The hair was a lot. Like the smells were a lot. Like everything was a lot. And it came to that, me doing that job for 10 years for me to realize, oh, this is just not for me, bruh. I don't know why I've been tolerating this shit the whole time. I'm like, bruh, I'm ready to every day I'm in the damn laundry room crying into some towels because I'm like, bruh, why am I so mad? I'm frustrated. I'm tired. I want to go home. Then I go home and everybody being annoying. But go away.
But we are presented with the fact, like it's not a fact, but we're presented with neurodivergence looking one way.
Yeah.
A white male, right?
A white male.
That's all we get presented with. So we don't recognize it in ourselves. And I'm just like, oh, I follow all these wonderful people and I know that they're autistic and they're like, it's so different in the way that they live their lives and the way they present and the way it affects them. And it's like, I want people to see more of that. I want people to see more of that so that maybe they can identify it earlier. You know what I mean? Or if it is later on in their life, then they still can make that connection. It's like, and that parents who are having children and they are getting that autism diagnosis, like, you don't have to grieve about it. It doesn't mean that they're not going to have a fulfilling, happy life. You just have to, you got to learn your child. That's it. And your child has to learn themselves.
Yes. And it's like, like now as an adult, like I'm coming to terms and realizing what was wrong. I'm like, bro, what happened? Like, so you're telling me if somebody would have taught me this earlier, I would have been in a better position. Because I've seen like my white passing friends that have gone through high school, been medicated, been chilling, no longer need medication, is able to cope with a 9-to-5 job at 30. And I'm like, what? And then they're like, yeah, I did all that already. And I'm just like, well, where was mine at? Like, where was mine at? Like,
right.
And it's just like, the fact that also like nowadays you get diagnosed at 2. You can get diagnosed at 2. They wasn't doing that when we was growing up. When we was growing up, they was trying to tell you at 10 years old that you might be ADHD. That's too late at that point. Like I couldn't sit through first through third grade, and you telling me I'm all right? No, just and then like the now nobody, like a lot of symptoms that I caught on to as an adult were constantly rolling through high school, elementary, causing issues in class, causing issues in general with people and friends. And I didn't realize that was wrong. And I'm like, all right, so I'm not wrong. My brain just wired different.
Yeah.
My brain is just wired different. We react differently to things. We feel different things than other people. I can't stand in that. Like I was in classrooms with like 15, 30 kids at a time. And then like all of those loud noises, and you want me to focus enough to do classwork.
Yeah.
And then wonder why I'm getting mad enough to start like twitching and shaking my legs and doing all this extra stuff, falling asleep. No, because now you're not keeping my attention because I can't focus if it's loud in here. I'm gonna just go to sleep. I'm so sorry. Like but like those things, like I didn't coming up to dealing with it now, and watching like my friends and everybody else who have dealt with this their whole life and been fine, and I'm like, why didn't nobody tell me that was why we was friends? Because like I've had friends that I've had for ages that are now coming out to be autistic and ADHD, and we have the same symptoms, and I'm like, that's why we was chilling in there smoking. That's why we was just chilling in there smoking, because we understood we had the same issue. Like me and my best friend was like, nah, we don't like people, but we like each other. We gonna smoke and watch this.
So all day. You talked about working as a groomer.
Mm-hmm.
So right now you do sex work.
Yes.
So is that just OnlyFans, or is it like you get paid for scenes, or you get paid for like dom work?
I would like to get paid to do dom work.
Okay.
That's just another market I haven't like stretched out in enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could do it. It's just I can't be nobody's like. That's the difference between me being neurodivergent and being neurotypical. I could be a dom for a night. You know what I'm saying? But the moment you add to it every day at that dynamic aspect, I'm like, this is boring now. I'm tired. This is too much energy. I don't like, especially. I can't be a brat tamer. I'd be ready to hurt you. And I'd be ready to really hurt you in a minute. I'm so sorry.
No, Fidget. I'm a brat, Fidget. Like
no. There's a difference between being a brat and being an asshole. Okay? And I definitely had, because I'm a brat. But I ain't an asshole.
I don't know. Sometimes it's a fine line.
There is a fine line. It's a fine line. But like once you cross that last nerve, boy, leave me alone. Go sit down. I don't have to tell you 15 times. If I gotta tell you to sit down and stop looking at me like I'm supposed to give you spanks for being bad, I'm so sorry. I can't do that. You like that shit. That's not punishment.
And that's what I do all the time. I'm like, I want to play.
There's a way to ask. There's a way to ask. You ask nicely. You do what you gotta do to get it, and then you get your spanks. You can't just be out here acting foolish. Like we ain't baby kids out in the public now. I will yoke you up by the ear. I have no problems. I have no qualms. I will yoke you up real quick. I had a sub once that I had to deal with. This little white boy. This little white boy. He would just be like, I want to play, and I'm just like, I have spanked you every day for the last 2 weeks, bro. This ain't working. You still acting foolish. This is not shit.
Right. You ain't learned.
How about I'm gonna start doing shit you don't want? And he'd be like, well, what? I'm like, cause you be pushing my boundaries. I told you we playing 3 times a week. You over here asking me again. Why are you asking me today? I already gave you spanks yesterday.
How does your partner feel about your sex work?
Huh?
How does your partner feel about your sex work?
My partner is all for it. Okay. They're just like they like I wanna do this. I wanna put on the drag and I wanna strap you in content. And I'm just like, you gotta make the account, my guy. You gotta make the account. Let's go. I'm ready. Let's get creative.
Well, that's
like,
good.
What?
So
that's cool.
Okay, so you are a dom at times, and we have Carty here that is like I like to call him a baby dom.
Soft. See, no, I'm
part time.
when it comes to being a dom.
I'm like soft. I'm not a narcissist, you know.
No, I'm saying he's new. He's new to being a dom or whatever. Like, I guess, would you have any
soft as
not soft as cotton?
I wouldn't say that soft. I'm not Fruit Loom soft.
Would you have any I guess words of advice to make Carty a better dom?
I would say, okay, so one thing I did not mention that helped me with finding the right partner, I made a fully as other neurodivergents. If you're neurodivergent out here trying to do some kink, please. I know y'all can't remember shit, even when it comes to things that you like. So how about you write all that shit down on a piece of paper, right? I got it all written down in a document. I have a document written up for sex work, for dating, for any of that nature. It talks about everything from allergies, basic needs, aftercare, how I like play, what kind of toys I like. It talks about what kind of things I don't like. It talks about what kind of relationship dynamics I'm comfortable with. Everything all in one go. Like,
that's dope.
Write yourself out a consent document. It doesn't have to be one of them annoying ass spreadsheets, because me and the neurodivergent hate spreadsheets. It's a grid. Why do I gotta look at a grid? It's so boring. So boring. No colors, no nothing. Oh no.
That's a smart idea though. Like, here's the book of me. This is everything that I like.
It's like a resume. You just write that shit out like a resume. It's all the nice points, and if you got questions, ask them. But like the point is to have a nice shelled out idea of already what you are comfortable with, what you're not comfortable with, so that way you don't have to keep rehashing it in negotiations every 5 minutes. You can just hand up the paper, exchange your information, have the conversation that's simple. Because me as a neurodivergent person starting out in kink, it was really, really hard to have those negotiating conversations. Broad.
I get like that all the time.
Audio processing. Anyway, so yeah, it was a lot of difficulty to like say every time what I wanted, because sometimes I couldn't remember like certain tools that I have previously used with a different partner or anything of that matter. So like a consent form, go-to thing. I learned that from one of my favorite people, Satan Studios, one of my favorite photographers. She taught me how to write this out, because she also, being someone who lives with PTSD, had to write out all her things that she needs, because like something that happens with me is rejective sensitivity. So like, if I don't have the right amount of aftercare, I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole of sensitivity about anything. Like just the simple dismission of aftercare can be like, oh, do you not like me now because because the used and discard feeling happens. Like I've been used and now discarded, and now I don't know what to do with these emotions. And then you end up getting a ball of crying. You don't want that. You want cope. You want soft. You want bring me some juice, bring me some snacks. Got kind of thing. I also was the kind of person. I'm also the kind of person, like after impact, I like the rub downs. Like I wrote all of that in this form, and that way, like when I met my partner currently, where can I read this book? Because I'm interested.
Sal, we're going to put up her social. I'm sorry, we're going to put up their social medias. We're going to put up the Cash App. We're going to put up all of that stuff. And Fidget, thank you so much for giving me grace, because I am trying so hard to respect your pronouns.
Oh no, you're doing great. You're doing great. You're correcting yourself. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, we don't care if y'all mess it up. We care if you correct yourself. Okay. We care if you acknowledge that you've made a mistake, because the moment you don't acknowledge it is when we start feeling disregarded. Like that. Right. That's it. You acknowledged it the whole time. All of you have been doing wonderful. I want to commend y'all for that. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, because we were stressed out.
No, don't be stressed. I promise you. I'm not the one to be like, no, you done said the wrong shit. No, I'm not about to be out here screaming at you like I am a sir. No, I'm not out here doing that. No, it's cool. It's coochie. It's all love. It's all love. Like, how can you learn if I'm not loving about it?
Oh,
I like that.
I appreciate that.
No, you wait, hold on. Your pronouns are they? Yes, my pronouns are they, them.
Yes.
I am non-binary.
Even though they are very sexy.
I am beautiful. I am sexy. I got large chi-chis. I understand that.
That's all I was like, I didn't hear shit. I heard nothing. All I saw was titties the whole time. I never heard anything.
Like, I'm just saying. I'm sorry. I can't. I have to laugh. If I can't laugh, it's just a mess.
Oh my God.
I can't laugh.
So we got a little bit of time left, because we were going to do the the box segment, but we've been having a good time talking to you.
Oh,
and sometimes you never know if you have someone on and you're interviewing, you don't know if they're going to do well, because some people don't interview well. Some people, there's a lot of dead air, and it's like, oh, okay, well, we just going to keep it real short. But we had a good time with you, so we definitely went over it. I don't apologize for that at all. So if you have like any fun dialogue or questions for Fidget, because I had one. I wanted to know if it was a kink that, no judgment, if it was a kink that you just would never indulge in. Not that you're judging a kink, but it's like, ain't no way I would ever do it. What'd you say?
You will not get me to do anything with scat. My whole life.
The moment somebody for a lot of people.
Like, bruh, I look.
You gotta be built different for that.
I could be a vampire out in this piece, like blood kink, the needles, all that jam. I'm cool with that. I haven't tried the needles. I'm planning on trying the needles because I'm getting over my fear of tattoos. But like, I can't. Don't ask me to shit. Don't ask me to fart. Bro, you don't need to experience that part of my existence. I promise you. Like, there's some things that are just kept to be private. Like, I can shit in private by myself. You don't gotta watch me do that. Now, and that being said, we don't do vomit.
Okay.
Just
yeah. You know what? I never thought about that.
There's a lot of people that just like bodily fluids in general. They don't care what it is.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of diaper people that like scat, and I'm just like,
that would make sense.
Keep your poop over there. I keep my poop over here in the toilet. We don't. Like I urine though. That's water sports. That's different. That's different.
That's regular.
That's regular, Daddy. I feel like the moment you think you kinky is the person that says, "Oh, I like girls who squirt." I'm just like, first off, I'm not a girl, and squirting, that's so normal. Like almost most men can do it, and if they can't do it, it's because they haven't explored enough. Usually, I've run into too many women that just have not.
I've never squirted.
Never have, yeah.
We gotta teach y'all today. We gotta teach y'all.
I can't say I have, so I squirt a different way.
All the time.
I squirt all the time.
Tokyo squirts all the time. I've never squirted, and like I have a lot of sex. I don't know. No one has ever been able to do that for me.
Look, you gotta explore. The G-spot stimulation is your friend. I'm telling you, that clitoral stimulation and that G-spot stimulation is your friend. If you ain't got the right PP though, or if you got the right man to know how to rub the upper area with his PP, I don't know.
I haven't encountered that yet, unfortunately.
But you know what you can do? You can get a real good G-spot vibrator and keep it at the top of you, just right 3 inches in. You just keep it there while you're playing. Do not move it until it feels like there is a large pressure building up, and then you go. Make sure you drink plenty of water. Stay hydrated, people. I'm so sorry. Last night,
you got to put something down.
I have a beautiful sex play. The Liberator. The Liberator is the best. Liberator is the best. $150, $300. Mine. Oh wait, no, mine was $300. King size bed. One for the king size bed. You got a nice picture.
I feel like I'm missing out. I'm just like, why? What's wrong with my eyes?
There's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with you. It's also about relaxing. Like if you can't relax enough to let the pressure build and release it when it's necessary, it's not gonna happen. I first did it involuntarily as a teen with the right. I had my boyfriend at the time. He had one that was going like,
you're a size queen.
So. But he wasn't that big. He was like a solid 6. But like his was like banana shaped. Almost. Okay. So like he was just rubbing consistently the same spot, and then eventually, and we were at this really, like my butt was a little off the ground. We were on the carpet burn. The carpet burn was nice that day. But no, I blew up, and then it was just all of a sudden I was just pouring down myself, and I'm just like, who's that? What's that? What's that? That's just pee. like, what is that? I'm just, I started Googling stuff, and then I figured out how to do it by myself. Masturbate.
Well,
You can do it.
Cardi,
you can do it.
Well, I masturbate all the time, but still have not done it. I don't know. But
I made a few people squirt in my day. Especially a late bloomer. She was like in her like late 40s and she did it. And she's like, what the fuck was this? She had the exact same reaction she had her first time.
You can
do it. What the fuck was this?
I've definitely made women squirt that have never squirted in their life. So it could definitely happen. It's just it's a matter of like being like do it while you stoned out your mind. You're real stoned, drink plenty of water, just get there and just play. Play until you can't play no more is what I say. Because when you get
that's probably
especially edging too. Like a lot of edging was what made me start doing it by myself. Okay. Is that I started edging and then I would just do the press the moment the build up got to the point that it was just
that's right. Team Edge over here.
Team Edge.
Team Edge over
all
here.
All the fucking way. Like, if you ain't edging, you ain't doing it right.
Exactly.
It's just there's some women that can do it on command though, and I definitely could do it without an orgasm now. At that point, like I could just do it, and people will immediately think that I'm coming, and I'm like, no, I'm so sorry. It's just that's involuntary right at this point. I'm like a geyser.
What's the craziest scene that you've ever participated in?
Craziest scene.
I mean, not crazy for vanilla people, but crazy for people even in the kink scene.
I feel like the craziest thing I have done has been.
Look, she gotta think. I mean,
I gotta think because, like, I feel like most of the shit that I be doing is normal, at least for as far as a kink person goes. Like, I haven't. One thing I haven't tried is that I want to try a forced age regression scene with the padding and everything, and I also want to try a bukkake.
Ooh.
I plan to, as much as I hate being involuntarily wet. If I have the right,
well, that's a problem.
wait.
For mentally prepared. For people who don't know what that is,
a bukkake is usually one femme, like 10 dudes just coming. Right? My plan is to make this as gender inclusive as possible. So we gonna have squirting, we gonna have the coming, we gonna have all the things all over the place. That's what I plan to happen for me. But I gotta get past the like I feel like I'm gonna start with like maybe 2 people and then work my way up. But like I feel like the craziest thing I've done is like a foursome with like no, that's a lie. I've been a part of an orgy. That's happened once. I was like, I forgot about this orgy real quick. I forgot about the orgy because it was kind of ruined slightly. It was sad. The dom I was with at the time, he was like, oh well, I got invited to this. I was playing for the first time. I topped at a party for the first time, and I got to punch a lot of butts that night. I was like, oh yeah, right? I got to punch a lot of butts, and one of the girls that I punched, she was just like, hey yo, we having this after party, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, oh. And she's like, yeah, you we like your vibe, you know what I'm saying? You gonna come to this, it's an all things go kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, oh, word? Let me go talk to my dom. I was like, hey, yo, so I'm about to go to this party. Are you coming with me? And he's just like, well, who going over there? I'm like, well, as far as I know, it's my dude that you already know, and then like a few girls. I don't know anybody else is coming, but it's all things go through things. So if there's more people, I'm here, right? And then he's just like, oh, all right, blah blah blah. He's I'll come with you. He came with me. We get there, and when I tell you we get there, he tried to pull some dumb shit. He got this one girl to fuck with us at one of the events that we had already seen, and then he decides to slide over here and say, well, you can't play with the other dicks in the room.
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
How you gonna tell me, sir? You brought me to the country buffet and said I could only have mac and cheese?
I'm freaking up.
Sausage.
Only Mac.
Wings. What color? You telling me I can't have General Toast, but you want me to only have meat? I was so angry. I was just eating this one girl, and then one of the girls that invited me ended up strapping me that night. And I was like, but then I was real mad because I missed out on the two other gentlemen. It was just beautiful.
Fidget, I'm tired just from listening to you. Like, that's a whole lot of work.
Right. Why are you this insecure? Well, he's like, well, you know, and then he was also weird about like he had like demanded to like get his dick sucked one time in my boyfriend's room at the time, and I was just like, no, if you get your dick sucked, like you gotta be comfortable with him getting his dick sucked in his bedroom. His bedroom, my nigga. You in his room, like you just try to, and he was that weird, and I was just kind of like, you can't do this no more. You getting in the way. You think you're pulling and then he would like, oh well, this girl was looking at me. I'm like, actually, she was looking at me. But that's okay. She was definitely looking at me. You got this button down on with the jeans and these dusty sneakers, and we at a formal event. And I'm just like, sir, this is why we don't even look like we go together. We gotta stop this. See, this is where the Leo come out. That's
definitely some Leo shit to say. Definitely. I'm cracking up.
But like the wildest thing was the orgy. And it was like, you know, I've done like play events, I've done suspension, like I think like I haven't really done anything. Fire play has been wild.
I want to do rope bondage. Like I want to find somebody who can tie me up, and like I want to do it so bad, but I don't know anyone who does it. So
I mean, if I was still in the Philly, you know, I would offer my.
I got the rope right here.
I don't know what he's doing. Cardi don't know what he's doing.
I'm learning. God damn it!
You got? Have you subscribed to Shibari Study? Like that's one.
I have subscribed to a couple of Shibari things.
Shibari Study, Shibari Study is an online website, but they also have an app. See, they got an app in the App Store. You know what I'm saying? $26, you get hundreds of videos, like from the basics, like learning safety, where veins to be aware of, nerves to be aware of, all of that stuff, and then it gradually gets all the way to full-on suspension and like Semewa, which is like it's like a struggle kind of shibari where it's like pretty but also like very uncomfortable. And I love it. I love partial suspensions.
See, Cardi, you would kill me. You don't know what you're doing.
He would just probably struggle at first. I mean, it's a practice. It's a practice.
I got you.
I mean, I don't know his skill level. I'm just saying, I feel like
zero. That's a skill level 0.
I don't even know your basic single columns. Like single columns is the first thing you gotta. Those are like the basic of anything.
Fidget, he don't know what you talk about.
I don't.
Oh no!
You see my work though. Siren has seen what I did my first time go around, and she's like, "Oh, that's cute."
But for him to like suspend me, I'll be done passed the fuck out. Now I'm dead.
I got safety scissors, and you know,
I gotta hide the body.
You got the one thing.
Hide the body. Oh,
now I'm on the news. I'm missing. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot that's going to happen. So.
Look, the main thing you be worried about is wrist drop or like any kind of drop with a body part. Like the wrist drop is when you're like say your hands are like this, but when you're in the rope they just
okay. So
you no longer feel your hands. Yeah. You can't do this or ball up a fist. It's the radial nerve that stops that from happening. So like when you do single columns around wrists, it's when you gotta be careful. Those ankles, knees,
I got you. I mean, if you start turning blue and purple, I'm gonna just cut you down, and you know.
Yes, I mean that is a thing that happens. Some people like that. Yeah. I am one of those people.
I don't like that because I already have nerve damage. So
hey, you can be mindful of that though. There's different.
She light skinned, so it's not something. She'll at least be.
I'm not light skinned. How many times do we have to go over this?
Look. You're not light skinned, but you definitely can see it. I mean, I can.
That's bullshit. You can see half her face. It's like the sun right now.
One of my favorite suspension pictures. You'll have to scroll all the way down to the bottom because Instagram won't let me post it because I look like a rack of ham. You know, I can't be on.
Ham is delicious, baby.
Right? It's delicious. Like you can't tell me these thighs ain't juicy. You can't say these thighs, the juicy thighs ain't it. I'm sorry. It's just the moment the rope was all wrapped around my arms, like because my arms are like this and my boobs are covered, so you can't see them.
I think I did see a suspension video.
Yeah, and I have a picture of my arms like this, and they're like. And it's one of my first suspensions, but because my elbows are visible, Instagram thinks that they titties. I'm like, bro, why do you think this is a titty? That's not a titty. That's not a nipple, my guy.
Because they don't know what black
titties areola right
there. They don't know what black titties look like. That's why.
I'm like, areolas don't look like my elbows. I'm so sorry. I got eczema. I got hyperpigmentation. What do you want me to do? Like, I can't. And then Instagram's like, nope, that's titties. That is definitely titties. I'm like,
I was wondering, do you struggle with like constantly the threat of your pages getting taken down?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like I get flagged the moment my ass is too close to the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like, bro, I'm sorry that my ass is big and voluptuous. I'm so sorry, Instagram, but like Lizzo's ass is out. Megan's ass is out. Cardi B be having her ass out. My God, why?
It's selective. It's very selective. Yeah, they hit me for AI titties, so it's like this is not even my titties. This is AI art. Like in
this
you know what I'm saying?
Titty.
So
it ain't even real titty, bro.
Yeah, take it to Twitter.
I hate Twitter.
Or you gotta bring Tumblr back. Either one.
Child, something. And I try to be conscious because I have like large areolas, so it's always something peeking out when I think it's not. I look and I'll be like, exactly. Don't get a shutdown. Don't get a shutdown, Fidget.
You ain't see nothing. You ain't get no free peek or nothing.
I mean, I appreciate it.
It was just marijuana.
I also appreciate
marijuana. It's just a weed. It's just a weed. It's just a weed. You don't know nothing. Don't let me cut up. Don't let me cut up.
So, Fidget, we have appreciated having you here so much. You have been so gracious, so educating. Like I thoroughly enjoyed you. You are our first interview ever. So
yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Right.
I love to start it off.
Can we bring it back, please?
Yes. Hey, please tell me that you'll come back and join us. And like, I want you to come and not have to like educate us. Like, just come and enjoy the
part of that conversation.
Yes.
Next part would just be all debauchery.
Yes. I'm here for
yes. I would love that because we talk about some really crazy things on the show.
Yeah.
Like we like to pick obscure sex topics and talk about them. So I would definitely love that.
Love having weird conversations about sex. Let's talk about it. I'm here.
I definitely would love to have you come back. So I want everyone to be able to support you. I want all your social medias. Let the people know where they can find you at. I want y'all to support Fidget. I want y'all to follow her. I want you to follow them. I want you to give them love, okay? And money, preferably.
Fidget Da Pup 30, bro, guy. Fidget Da Pup 30, with the DA, bro, because that's we black out here. We can't be out here with the D. It's not necessary. Extra syllables, extra letters. But I'm Fidget Baby on Facebook. I am Switchy Little Pup on Instagram. Switchy Little Pup on Twitter without the T's and the E. And I got the OnlyFans, Switchy Little Pup. Got the link tree usually on the Instagram and the Facebooks, so you can pop on the other sites there. It's the shit, you know. Gotta come support, come see the wild shenanigans I be on, because you know I got a strap on vid about to drop in a minute.
I know that's right, and it is spelled exactly how they have it on their signature here on screen, so you could type that in the Instagram.
In this area over here.
Yes. And for whatever reason, when you put in Switchy, it doesn't come up. But if you put in Fidget, both of their social medias will come up on Instagram. So
it's the Switchies because I'm shadow banned. They're trying to take my shit away.
Oh,
you got too much ass
haters.
out. The haters. It's the damn metaverse.
But if you put that in, both of them will come up. And so
Yes.
please support their content. On top of everything else, they are a wonderful advocate for neurodivergent people and just an all-around awesome person as you have seen. So you will see Fidget again. Cardi, let the people know where they can find you, Soft Dom Daddy.
That's all debatable now.
I
don't feel like Soft Dom anymore.
Everybody needs a soft daddy. I mean, come on. My daddy a little soft sometimes. He just knows to turn on the beam. He just knows to turn on the beam. You gotta know when to turn on.
Start soft, finish hard. That's what.
Yes.
Yeah, get it. Anyway, Hard Experience Instagram. Also on Twitter at Baychin After Dark. Show Tuesdays 9:30. Shit, change our time. So.
And Tokyo.
Yes, you can find me on Tokyo_Tequila with an H on Instagram and Tokyo T on Facebook.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah, I saw you being a white and baby. Oh, wait a minute. I'm showing my age. Yeah.
This piercing fucking I hate this person.
And of course, I'm Siren by Night. I'm Siren by Night on everything. I keep it real simple. It's on Instagram, Siren by Night. On Facebook, Siren by Night. TikTok, Siren _by Night. But if you put in Siren by Night, I'm going to come up 9 times out of 10. Blessings, baby, blessings.
I'm going crazy right now.
Also, if for any reason you type in Fidget's information and it doesn't come up, you could come to my Instagram. I'm going to have the flyer up with their information, so you can look in the caption and you'll be able to get the link to their pages. So please support. And also, if you want to watch the replays of any of our shows, we didn't have Inside the Box this week, but I feel like we was inside the box the entire time.
I can't really have a conversation about mental health and then not.
It goes together.
It just goes together. It's like it affects each other.
We always talk about mental health and sex because people always fail to realize that a lot of mental health things, are at the root of all things that we do sexually. So how can you have one without the other? You can't have one conversation without the other. Otherwise, you're not having the best sex you can have. In my opinion, is what I'm saying. All right. So please find the replays of all our shows on all Head Nerds in Charge platforms. You can find us on YouTube. We have several pages on Facebook. You know that, the main page, west, north, south, all of that. Go back, watch, enjoy, laugh. You know that we have Anchor and Spotify, so you want to make sure you listen to us there. Also, you want to go to www.headnerdsincharge.com, okay, where you can find reviews on the hottest shows. You can get your tickets for HNIC Con. You can get merch. We have beautiful merch for all of our melanated nerds, okay? And last but not least, I am the managing director, one of the managing directors for the Cage Awards. So you want to make sure that you follow the Cage Awards on Instagram at the Cage Awards and www.cageawards.com, because we are doing an award show for the culture by the culture, where we celebrate people of color who are content creators and kink spaces. Yes, we are. Cosplayers, all of that. Podcasters. So you don't want to miss out on it, because we want to celebrate people of color that are in spaces that are usually occupied by those of the vanilla
flavoring.
Okay.
The mayonnaise.
Yes. Everything we do is about representation in all areas. Okay. So thank you again for joining us, Fidget. We love you. You are an honorary unicorn now. Okay.
I mean, I was a unicorn before that, but you
know what I mean.
I'll be here for your couplings.
The very definition of a unicorn. We really hope that you come back with us. We have enjoyed ourselves tonight. I hope that you have enjoyed us.
Oh, of course. Thank you for all the good questions. Y'all had some, especially Tokyo. You had some really good questions, and you Siren, you had a lot of good questions.
No, Tokyo had really, really good questions. She really, really did. When she first told me what her questions were, I was like, "Those are good questions." I ain't even
very good questions. Very good questions. I appreciate it because I be wondering what we talking about. And I'm like, I don't know. Y'all just ask me anything. I'll just answer.
Well, you know, Tokyo is our sex director here, so I knew she was going to hear the good questions. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Director.
She's like the freakiest married person I've ever met in my life.
Let him come.
People be married the longest. I'm telling you.
Yeah. But she
sex doctor. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, she be tame, but inside, you know, inside there is a monster that wants to come out. She keep it on the inside. So y'all, please tune in to us again every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on all Head Nerds in Charge platforms. Watch the replay. If you want to educate yourself again, you missed some things that Fidget said, go on, watch that replay, okay?
Replay.
Right. And don't slide in her DMs for nothing but business. I'm sorry.
Right.
Their DMs for nothing but business. Let me put that out there because they have been very explicit about that on their Facebook. And I was scared. I was like, okay, all right. They said, if you ain't here for giving me some money, get up out of here. Get out my
here. Please. I don't have time.
Y'all have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.